Picture this. You wake up in the morning, you go to reach for your phone or your glass of water, and your hand is tingling. That pins and needles feeling. Maybe it's been happening for a while now, or maybe you've noticed your legs feel heavier than they used to. Not painful exactly, just weaker, less dependable, like they take a little longer to respond than they used to. And you've probably mentioned it to someone, a doctor, a friend, a family member, and gotten some version of, "That's just part of getting older." Or maybe you've been told to watch your posture, or take a B12 supplement, and maybe those things helped a little, or maybe they didn't. What most people haven't been told, and what genuinely surprised me when I started digging into the research on this, is the role that collagen plays in nerve health. Not joint health, not skin health, nerve health. The structural integrity of the tissue surrounding and feeding your nerves, and how what you eat, specifically whether you're getting enough collagen-supporting nutrients, has a direct impact on whether those symptoms get better, stay the same, or quietly get worse. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through 8 collagen-rich snacks that support exactly this. I'll explain what's happening in your body, which snacks work and why, how much you actually need, and how to fit these into your day without overhauling everything. 8 snacks, real food, and a clear picture of what's actually going on underneath those symptoms. Let's get into it. So let's back up and talk about what's actually going on, because collagen for nerves is not a phrase most people have heard, and I want to make sure the connection is clear before we get into the snacks themselves. You've probably heard of collagen in the context of skin. The supplement industry has done a good job of making sure of that. But collagen is actually the most abundant protein in the entire human body. It's not just a skin thing, it's structural tissue. It forms the scaffolding for your joints, your tendons, your blood vessels, your gut lining. And critically, it forms the myelin sheath, the protective coating around your nerves. Think of it like the plastic insulation around an electrical wire. That sheath is what allows nerve signals to travel quickly and cleanly from your brain down through your spine and out to your hands and feet. When that insulation is intact, the signal moves fast. You feel things accurately, your muscles respond the way they're supposed to. When that sheath starts to degrade, when it loses its structural integrity, signals get interrupted, they slow down, they misfire. And that's when you start feeling things like tingling, numbness, that strange weakness in the legs that's hard to describe, but very easy to feel. Now here's something I find myself explaining to people more and more. Collagen production in the body peaks in your mid-20s. After that, it declines, roughly 1 to 1.5% per year. So by the time you're in your 50s or 60s, you could be working with significantly less collagen than your body needs to maintain all of that structural tissue. And most people have no idea that's happening because the symptoms are gradual. They creep in. A little tingling here, some weakness there, and by the time it becomes noticeable enough to mention to a doctor, the deficit has often been building for years. I think about a woman I spoke with once who had been dealing with tingling in her hands for almost 2 years. She'd had the nerve conduction tests, the blood panels, everything came back borderline, nothing definitive, and she'd been told to monitor it, which is fair medical advice. But nobody had talked to her about nutrition. Nobody had asked what she was eating, or whether her diet was giving her body what it needed to actually maintain and repair that nerve tissue. That conversation changed things for her, not overnight, but meaningfully over time. The mechanism here is well established. Collagen provides the structural framework for the endoneurium and perineurium, the connective tissue layers that literally wrap and protect your peripheral nerves. When collagen integrity in those layers degrades, nerve conduction slows and sensitivity changes. The pathway from collagen deficit to nerve symptoms is real and documented. And the good news is that food, actual whole food, is one of the most effective ways to feed it. So let's talk about what those foods are. Alright, so let's get into the snacks, and I want to be clear about something up front. When I say collagen-rich snacks, I mean 2 things. Foods that either contain collagen directly, or foods that give your body the specific nutrients it needs to produce and repair collagen on its own. Both categories matter. Both belong on this list. Snack 1. Bone broth. This is the most direct source on the list. Bone broth, made from simmering animal bones for an extended period, releases collagen, gelatin, and a specific amino acid called glycine directly into the liquid. Glycine is one of the primary building blocks your body uses to synthesize new collagen. And here's what makes bone broth particularly useful as a snack. It's warm, it's savory, it's satisfying without being heavy, and a single cup gives you a meaningful dose of these building blocks in a form your body can absorb quickly. Look for brands that list protein content around 9 to 10 grams per cup. That's usually a reliable indicator of collagen density. Or make it yourself if you have the time. Either way, this one earns its spot at the top of the list. Snack 2. Sardines. I know, bear with me. Sardines, particularly when eaten with the bones, which are soft and completely edible, give you collagen, omega-3 fatty acids, and vitamin D in one small package. And that combination matters. Omega-3s reduce the inflammation that degrades myelin tissue. Vitamin D supports nerve regeneration. And the collagen from those tiny bones is the same structural protein your nerve sheaths are made from. A small tin of sardines on some whole grain crackers is genuinely one of the most nerve-supportive snacks you can eat. If the taste is a barrier, and I understand that, try them mashed with a little mustard or lemon. It makes a significant difference. Snack 3. Kiwi fruit. This one surprises people. Kiwi is one of the single highest food sources of vitamin C, and vitamin C is not optional when it comes to collagen synthesis. It's actually a required cofactor. Your body cannot build collagen without it. The enzyme that stabilizes the collagen triple helix structure, prolyl hydroxylase, if you want the technical name, is completely dependent on vitamin C to function. So it doesn't matter how much glycine or proline you're getting if vitamin C is low. The whole process stalls. 2 kiwis gives you well over 100% of your daily vitamin C needs. Easy snack, genuinely functional. Snack 4. Pumpkin seeds. This one is about zinc. Zinc is another essential cofactor for collagen synthesis, and it also plays a direct role in nerve signal transmission and myelin maintenance. Most people don't think about zinc in the context of nerve health, but the deficiency symptoms, tingling, numbness, impaired sensation, overlap significantly with what people describe when their collagen production is compromised. A small handful of pumpkin seeds, about 28 grams, gives you roughly 20% of your daily zinc needs. They're also high in magnesium, which supports nerve conduction independently. This is one of those snacks where the benefits stack in a way that makes it punching well above its weight. Now, here's something worth noting, and I want to be clear about this because I think it's easy to misread. Eating these snacks isn't going to eliminate nerve symptoms overnight. Actually, let me frame that more usefully. The goal here isn't a quick fix. The goal is giving your body a consistent supply of the raw materials it needs so that the repair processes your body is already trying to run can actually do their job. Collagen synthesis is ongoing. It's a daily process. And the difference between a body that has what it needs and one that doesn't shows up over weeks and months, not days. So consistency matters more than intensity here. A handful of pumpkin seeds every other day beats a collagen-loading experiment for 1 week. Keep that in mind as we go through the rest of the list. Snack 5. Greek yogurt with berries. Greek yogurt brings 2 things to the table here. First, it's a solid source of proline, one of the key amino acids your body uses to actually construct collagen chains. Second, it delivers protein broadly, which matters because collagen synthesis is a protein-intensive process. Your body needs a pool of amino acids available to pull from. Pair it with berries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, and now you've added a concentrated hit of antioxidants that protect existing collagen from oxidative breakdown. Because here's something that doesn't get said enough. It's not just about building new collagen, it's about protecting what you already have. Antioxidants do that. They mop up the free radicals that degrade collagen tissue at the cellular level. Greek yogurt and a handful of berries. Simple, functional. One of the easiest swaps on this list. Snack 6. Hard-boiled eggs. Egg whites are one of the richest dietary sources of proline and glycine outside of bone broth. And the yolk delivers sulfur-containing compounds that support the cross-linking of collagen fibers, the process that gives collagen its actual tensile strength. A collagen fiber that isn't properly cross-linked is like a rope with loose threads. It holds for a while, but it's structurally compromised. Hard-boiled eggs are portable. They prep ahead in minutes, and most people already have them in rotation. Batch cook 6 on a Sunday, and you've got a grab-and-go snack for the entire week. One of the easiest entries on this list to actually stick with. Snack 7. A small piece of dark chocolate. Real dark chocolate, 70% cacao or higher. Stay with me here. Dark chocolate at that cacao percentage is genuinely high in copper, and copper is the third essential cofactor for collagen synthesis, alongside vitamin C and zinc. The enzyme lysyl oxidase, which is responsible for that cross-linking process I just mentioned, is copper-dependent. It cannot function without it. Beyond that, dark chocolate at 70% and above contains flavonols that have been shown to improve circulation and reduce neuroinflammation, both of which directly support nerve tissue health. 1 or 2 squares, not half a bar. But yes, this absolutely belongs on a legitimate list of nerve-supporting, collagen-boosting snacks, and it's probably the one most people are happy to add. Snack 8. Collagen-rich cuts of chicken. I know that eyebrows just went up. We've spent decades being told to remove the skin, trim the fat, eat the lean breast meat only. And look, there's context to that advice. But here's what that guidance cost a lot of people nutritionally. Chicken skin and the connective tissue around joints and thighs is actually one of the most concentrated sources of dietary collagen available. Chicken feet, chicken wings, chicken thighs with the bone. These cuts release significant amounts of collagen when cooked, especially in soups and stews. A small bowl of homemade chicken soup made with bone-in thighs isn't just comfort food. It's genuinely one of the most collagen-dense things you can eat. A lot of people dealing with tingling hands and weak legs spend months, sometimes years, focused entirely on the symptom. They try stretches for their neck, they adjust their desk setup, they buy wrist braces, and some of those things help with comfort. They can absolutely be part of the picture. But the underlying structural issue, the gradual degradation of the connective tissue and myelin that surrounds and protects your nerves, that doesn't get addressed by a wrist brace. And it doesn't get addressed by ignoring it either. Here's what concerns me about the monitor and wait approach that a lot of people end up on. Nerve tissue is slow to repair, genuinely slow. The window where nutritional intervention can meaningfully shift the trajectory, that window exists and it's real, but it's not indefinitely open. I've seen people who caught this early make real, noticeable progress in 3 to 4 months of consistent nutritional support. And I've spoken with people who waited, who monitored it for 2 or 3 years while it quietly progressed, and by then the conversation was different. Not impossible, but different. More about managing than reversing. Food isn't the only answer here, and these snacks don't replace a conversation with your doctor. But if your body is trying to repair and maintain nerve tissue every single day, and you're not giving it the collagen precursors, the vitamin C, the zinc, the copper it needs to do that work, then you are working against yourself, silently, without knowing it. And that's the part that's worth paying attention to right now, while the trajectory is still yours to influence. So with that, let's talk about how to actually use all of this. Here's the thing about a list like this. 8 snacks sounds like a lot, and if you're thinking you need to incorporate all 8 immediately, starting tomorrow, that's not the approach I'd recommend. That's the kind of thinking that leads to a week of motivated eating, followed by nothing because it felt unsustainable. What works is simpler. Pick 2. Just 2 snacks from this list that fit naturally into your life. Maybe it's a cup of bone broth in the afternoon instead of a second coffee. Maybe it's swapping your usual afternoon snack for Greek yogurt and berries. Maybe it's keeping hard-boiled eggs in the fridge and grabbing one when you're hungry between meals. Start there. Build the habit around those 2. Then add a third when it feels easy. Because here's what the research consistently shows about dietary interventions for connective tissue health. And this was supported by a study out of Penn State, published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. The benefits accumulate with consistency over time. They used vitamin C-enriched collagen before activity and tracked collagen synthesis markers over weeks. The results weren't dramatic at day 3. They were meaningful at week 8. That's the timeline you're working with, not days, weeks, which means the most important thing isn't which 2 snacks you pick first. It's whether you're still doing it 6 weeks from now. And here's a practical framework for thinking about your day. Morning. Something with proline and glycine. A hard-boiled egg, some Greek yogurt, maybe bone broth if you're someone who does savory in the morning. Afternoon. Something with vitamin C and zinc. Kiwi, pumpkin seeds, a handful of berries. Evening, or whenever you want something small and satisfying. A square or two of dark chocolate, or a cup of broth if you made a soup. That's it. 3 small nutritional moments in your day, each one feeding the collagen synthesis process at a different point on the clock. You don't have to be perfect about it. You're not going to ruin anything by missing a day or swapping things around. The body is more forgiving than we give it credit for. What you're doing is giving your body more of what it needs, more consistently. That's it. And over time, that steady input is what creates a different outcome. Now, one last thing I want to mention, and I think this is actually the piece that ties everything together: hydration. Collagen is a hydrated structure. The tissue itself, the myelin sheath, the connective tissue around your nerves, requires adequate fluid to maintain its integrity and flexibility. Chronic low-grade dehydration, which is incredibly common in adults over 50 because the thirst mechanism becomes less reliable with age, directly compromises collagen tissue health. So, alongside everything on this list, water. Consistently. Not heroic amounts, just consistent. It's the thing most people are already behind on and don't realize it. If the tingling and the weakness have been bothering you, this is where I'd start. Not instead of talking to your doctor, alongside it. Nutrition and medicine aren't competing with each other here. They're working toward the same thing. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.